Welcome to my channel, everyone. Have you ever dreamed of speaking English fluently but felt scared or overwhelmed? What if you could speak English without fear, just like chatting with a friend? Yes, it's possible. When I started learning English, I was nervous too. I remember my friend Maria, a beginner like you, who could barely say a sentence. She was shy, but she started small, saying simple phrases like hello or I like coffee every day. Within months, she was chatting with new friends in English, no longer afraid. You don't need to know every word to start speaking confidently. In today's video, we'll share fun, easy steps to make English exciting and stress-free. Imagine watching your favorite English movies without subtitles or traveling the world, talking to anyone, all starting today. We're diving into 6 powerful chapters packed with simple tips, real-life stories, and exercises you can try right now. Ready to make English your superpower? Let's jump in and start talking. Chapter 1. Start with listening, the key to understanding English. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chapter 1 of our journey to make English easy and fun. Today we're starting with listening, the key to understanding English. If you're a beginner, you might feel nervous about understanding English when people speak. Don't worry. Listening is the first step to making English feel natural, and I'm going to show you how to do it in a simple, exciting way. When I started learning English, I could barely understand a single word. I remember watching an English cartoon and feeling lost because the characters spoke so fast. But I didn't give up. I started listening to simple songs and stories every day, and little by little, I began to understand more. Listening helped me learn new words, figure out how to pronounce them, and understand how sentences work. Today, I'll share easy tips to make listening fun and help you improve fast. Let's dive in. Why is listening so important? When you listen to English, you train your ears to recognize words and sounds. It's like teaching your brain a new song. The more you listen, the easier it becomes to understand what people say. Listening also helps you learn how words sound when spoken naturally. For example, native speakers often connect words like saying gonna instead of going to. By listening, you pick up these patterns and start sounding more natural when you speak. Plus, listening introduces you to new vocabulary without needing a textbook. It's like learning while having fun. Let's talk about how to start. The best way is to listen to things you enjoy. One of my favorite ways to practice is by listening to English songs. Songs are great because they're catchy and repeat words, making them easier to remember. When I was learning, I loved a song called Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I didn't understand every word at first, but I kept listening, and soon I was singing along. Here's a fun moment. Let me share a line from a song that helped me learn. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Try repeating that with me. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. See? You just learned a new phrase. Songs like this are perfect because they're simple and fun. Pick a short English song you like, maybe a pop song or a children's song, and listen to it a few times. You'll be surprised how much you learn. Another great way to practice is by watching cartoons. Cartoons use simple words and clear voices, and the pictures help you understand what's happening. I used to watch a cartoon about a talking dog, and even though I didn't know all the words, the actions on screen helped me guess their meanings. For example, when the dog said, "Fetch," I saw him grab a ball, so I learned the word fetch means to go get something. Start with cartoons like Peppa Pig or Dora the Explorer. They're made for kids, so the language is easy and they're fun to watch. If you don't understand everything, that's okay. Just keep watching, and your brain will start connecting the words to the story. Podcasts are another amazing tool. There are podcasts made just for English learners, where people speak slowly and clearly. I listened to a podcast called BBC Learning English while walking to school. It was like having a teacher in my pocket. Look for podcasts about topics you love, like animals, sports, or travel. Even 10 minutes a day can make a big difference. If you're a beginner, start with short episodes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes long. You can listen while cooking, cleaning, or relaxing. The key is to make listening a daily habit. Here's a tip to make listening easier. Start with slow and clear audio. Some websites like VOA Learning English have news stories spoken slowly for learners. You can also use subtitles at first. Watch a video with English subtitles, then try watching without them. This helped me so much when I was learning. I watched a short video about animals with subtitles, and after a few times, I could understand it without reading the words. Another trick is to repeat what you hear. If you hear a sentence like, "I like to eat apples," pause and say it out loud. This helps you practice pronunciation and remember the words. Now, let's make this fun with a challenge. I call it the 3-word challenge. Pick a short English song, like Baby Shark or Let It Go. Listen to it once and try to write down 3 new words you hear. Don't worry if you don't understand them yet. Just write them down. For example, in Baby Shark, you might hear Daddy Shark or hunting. Look up their meanings in a dictionary and try using them in a sentence. This challenge is exciting because it makes you feel like a detective finding new words. Pause the video now, try it, and come back to share how it went in the comments. This will keep you motivated and make learning active. What if you feel frustrated because you don't understand everything? That's normal. When I started, I only understood a few words in a song or cartoon. But I kept listening every day, and slowly, I understood more. Be patient with yourself. Even if you only catch one word, that's progress. Try listening to the same song or video multiple times. Each time you'll notice something new. For example, I listened to a news clip about a zoo 5 times, and by the last time, I could understand the main idea. Repetition is your friend. Listening also prepares you for speaking, which we'll talk about in the next chapter. When you listen, you learn how words sound and how sentences are built. This makes it easier to say things correctly when you start talking. For now, focus on listening every day, even for just 10 minutes. You can listen while eating breakfast, walking, or before bed. Choose something fun, like a song or cartoon, and enjoy the process. The more you listen, the more comfortable English will feel. To wrap up, here's what to remember. Listening is the key to understanding English. It helps you learn words, pronunciation, and sentence patterns. Start with fun things like songs, cartoons, or podcasts. Use subtitles if you need them. Repeat what you hear, and try the 3-word challenge to stay engaged. Don't worry if it feels hard at first. Keep going, and you'll see progress. I believe in you. Get ready for Chapter 2, where we'll talk about speaking without fear. Keep listening, and let's make English easy together. Chapter 2. Speak without fear. Simple ways to start talking. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chapter 2 of our journey to make English easy and fun. Today, we're diving into speaking, how to start talking in English without fear. If you're a beginner, speaking might feel scary. Maybe you worry about saying the wrong thing or people not understanding you. I get it. When I first started learning English, I was so shy. I remember trying to order food at a cafe and freezing because I was afraid of making mistakes. My heart was racing, and I barely said a word. But then I learned a secret. You don't need to be perfect to speak English. You just need to start. Little by little, I practiced, and now I can talk with confidence. In this chapter, we'll share simple, fun ways to start speaking, even if you're nervous. We'll try a role play, and I'll give you a challenge to make speaking exciting. Ready? Let's start talking. Speaking is one of the most important parts of learning English because it lets you use what you've learned. In Chapter 1, we talked about listening, which helps you understand words and how they sound. Now, speaking takes that a step further. You get to say those words yourself. The best part? You don't need to know a lot of words to start. Even simple sentences like, I like tea, or it's a sunny day are enough. The key is to practice every day, even for just a few minutes. When I was learning, I started by talking to myself. It felt a little silly, but it worked. I'd say things like, I'm brushing my teeth now, or I want to eat an apple. This helped me get comfortable with English words and sounds. One of the easiest ways to start speaking is by talking to yourself. Try it right now. Look around and say one thing you see. Maybe it's, this is my phone, or the sky is blue. See? That wasn't hard. Start with small sentences about your day. For example, when you wake up, say, I'm getting out of bed. When you eat, say, I'm having breakfast. This builds your confidence because no one is listening, so there's no pressure. I used to do this every morning, and it made speaking feel so natural. Over time, I could say longer sentences without thinking too much. Another great way to practice is by using a mirror. Look at yourself and say a few sentences. This helps you feel more comfortable speaking out loud. It's like practicing for a real conversation. When I was shy, I'd stand in front of a mirror and say, Hi, my name is Anna. I like to read books. At first, I felt nervous, even alone. But after a few days, I started smiling at myself, and speaking felt easier. Try it tonight. Say 3 sentences in front of a mirror and watch how confident you feel. Let's make this fun with a role play. Imagine you're at a cafe ordering coffee. This is a top moment, so follow along with me. Here's what you might say. Hello? Can I have a small coffee, please? The waiter might say, Sure, Do you want milk? You can reply, no, just black coffee, thank you. Let's try it together. Hello? Can I have a small coffee, please? Pause the video and say it out loud. Feel like you're really at a cafe. This roleplay is great because it's a real-life situation you can use. Practice it a few times, and you'll feel ready to order in English anywhere. Role plays like this make speaking fun and help you prepare for real conversations. What if you're scared of making mistakes? Don't worry. Mistakes are how we learn. When I started, I once said, I am hungry instead of I'm thirsty when I wanted water. My friends smiled and corrected me, and I learned the right word. Nobody laughed or got upset. Most people are kind and happy to help you learn. If you don't know a word, use simple ones to explain. For example, if you forget umbrella, say, it's for rain. The important thing is to keep talking. Every mistake makes you better. Finding someone to practice with can make speaking even easier. If you have a friend who speaks English, ask them to talk with you for a few minutes each day. You can talk about simple things like your favorite food or what you did today. I had a friend who helped me practice, and she'd correct me gently when I made mistakes. It made me feel so supported. If you don't have an English-speaking friend, don't worry. There are websites and apps like Tandem or HelloTalk where you can find people around the world to practice with. You can chat about anything, movies, games, or even the weather. These conversations make speaking feel like fun, not work. Here's a challenge to keep you excited. The one-sentence challenge. Right after this video, say one English sentence to yourself out loud. It could be, I am learning English, or I like to watch videos. Pause the video now, try it, and come back to tell me how it felt in the comments. This challenge is quick and easy, and it'll make you feel proud of yourself. Doing it right away keeps you motivated and proves you can start speaking today. If you're feeling shy, start small. You don't need to speak for hours, just a few sentences a day. Try repeating phrases you hear in songs or videos, like we talked about in Chapter 1. For example, if you hear I love this song in a video, say it out loud a few times. This helps you practice pronunciation and feel more natural. You can also try tongue twisters to make it fun. Say, she sells seashells by the seashore. It's tricky, but it helps your mouth get used to English sounds. Keep practicing, and you'll notice speaking gets easier every day. Speaking is all about taking small steps and having fun. Don't worry about being perfect. Just start talking. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. And guess what? Speaking leads to our next chapter, where we'll talk about reading. Reading helps you learn new words to use in your conversations, making them even better. So, keep practicing your speaking, and let's move to Chapter 3 to see how reading can make you an English superstar. To wrap up, here's what to remember. Speaking English doesn't have to be scary. Start by talking to yourself, use a mirror, try role plays like ordering coffee, and find a practice partner online. Mistakes are okay. They help you learn. Try the one-sentence challenge today, and you'll see how easy it is to start. I believe in you. Keep talking and get ready for Chapter 3, where we'll explore reading to grow your English skills. Let's make English easy together. Chapter 3. Read to Grow. Building Vocabulary Through Reading. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chapter 3 of our journey to make English easy and fun. Today, we're talking about reading, how it helps you grow your vocabulary and understand English better. Reading might sound like work, but it's actually a fun way to learn new words without feeling like you're studying. When I started learning English, I struggled with vocabulary. I remember picking up a comic book about a silly cat, and I didn't know half the words. But the pictures helped me guess what was happening, and soon I was laughing and learning at the same time. Reading opened up a whole new world of words for me. In this chapter, we'll share simple ways to start reading, even if you're a beginner. We'll try a fun challenge to keep you excited, and I'll show you how reading makes speaking even better. Ready? Let's dive in and read to grow. Why is reading so important? When you read, you see new words in action. You learn how they're used in sentences and how they sound. This helps you understand English better and gives you more words to use when you talk. In Chapter 2, we learned how speaking helps you practice English. Reading takes it further by giving you new words to say. Plus, it's like a treasure hunt. Every page has something new to discover. Reading also shows you how sentences are built, which makes your speaking and writing stronger. The best part? You can start with fun, easy things like children's books or comics. Let's start with where to begin. If you're new to English, pick simple texts like children's books. These books use short sentences and have pictures that help you understand the story. I remember reading a book called The Very Hungry Caterpillar. It was about a caterpillar eating lots of food, and the pictures showed exactly what was happening. Even when I didn't know a word like strawberry, the picture helped me guess it was a fruit. Books like this are perfect for beginners because they're easy and fun. You can find them at libraries or online for free on websites like Storyweaver or Epic. Start with just one page a day. It's enough to make progress. Comics are another great choice. They're exciting because they mix pictures with words, making it easier to understand. Here's a funny moment from my learning days. I was reading a comic about a dog who loved to chase his tail. One word was bark, and I didn't know it. But the picture showed the dog making a woof sound, so I guessed bark meant the sound a dog makes. I laughed so hard at the silly dog, and I learned a new word without even trying. Try comics like Calvin and Hobbes, or even online comics for kids. They're short, fun, and full of everyday words you can use. One of the best ways to improve is by reading aloud. When you read out loud, you practice saying words correctly, which helps your speaking too. I used to read a short story to myself every evening, saying each word slowly. For example, I'd read, "The cat is on the mat," and practice pronouncing cat and mat clearly. This made me more confident when speaking. Try it with a simple sentence right now. The sun is bright. Say it out loud and feel how it sounds. Reading aloud also helps you remember words better because you hear and see them at the same time. Another tip is to keep a vocabulary notebook. Every time you find a new word, write it down with its meaning and a simple sentence. When I read The Very Hungry Caterpillar, I learned apple. I wrote, apple means a red fruit. I eat an apple every day. This helped me remember the word forever. You can use a small notebook or even an app like Quizlet. Try to add 3 new words a week. It's a small step that makes a big difference. If you don't understand a word, guess its meaning from the sentence first. For example, in "The dog runs fast," you can guess fast means quickly because the dog is moving a lot. To keep you excited, here's a fun challenge: the Read and Summarize Challenge. Find a short paragraph in English, like a page from a children's book or a simple online article. Read it once, then write or say 2 sentences about what it was about. For example, if you read about a cat playing with a ball, you might say, "The cat played with a red ball. It was happy and jumped a lot." Pause the video now, try this with a short text, and share what you learned in the comments. This challenge is awesome because it makes you think about what you read and practice using new words. It's like a game that helps you learn. What if reading feels hard? That's okay. When I started, I only understood a few words on a page. But I kept reading, even if it was just 1 sentence a day. Don't worry about understanding everything. Just enjoy the story. If a word is tricky, use a dictionary or an app to check its meaning. You can also try books with audio, where someone reads the story while you follow along. This helped me a lot because I could hear the words and see them at the same time. Websites like Audible or YouTube have free audiobooks for beginners. Start slow, and you'll get faster over time. Choosing books you love makes reading fun. If you like animals, read about dogs or birds. If you enjoy sports, find stories about soccer or basketball. I loved reading about travel because I dreamed of visiting new places. Once I read a short article about a beach, and I learned words like waves and sand. It was exciting because I could imagine being there. Pick topics that make you happy, and you'll want to read more. You can also try reading other things, like simple news articles on BBC Learning English or even song lyrics. These show you how English is used in real life. Reading doesn't have to take a lot of time. Even 10 minutes a day is enough. I used to read 1 page before bed, and it became my favorite part of the day. Over a few months, I noticed I could read faster and understand more. You can read while waiting for a bus, during lunch, or in the evening. Make it a habit, and you'll see progress. If you don't have books, check online for free resources. Many websites offer stories for English learners, and some apps let you click on words to see their meanings. Reading helps you speak better too. The words you learn from reading give you more to say in conversations. It's like adding tools to your toolbox. But reading also helps with writing, which we'll talk about in Chapter 4. When you read, you see how sentences are built and how grammar works. This makes your writing stronger and clearer. So, keep reading and get ready to shine in our next chapter. To wrap up, here's what to remember. Reading is a fun way to grow your vocabulary and understand English. Start with simple books or comics. Read aloud to practice pronunciation, keep a vocabulary notebook, and choose topics you love. Try the Read and Summarize Challenge to stay engaged, and don't worry if it feels hard at first. Every page you read makes you better. I believe in you. Keep reading, and let's move to Chapter 4, where we'll explore how writing can make your English even stronger. Let's make English easy together. Chapter 4, Write to Learn, Using Writing to Master English. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chapter 4 of our journey to make English easy and fun. Today, we're talking about writing, how it helps you master English by practicing words, grammar, and sentences. Writing might sound hard, especially if you're a beginner, but it's one of the best ways to make English stick in your mind. When I started learning English, I was nervous about writing. My first sentences were short, like I eat rice or it is sunny. I made lots of mistakes, but I kept a small notebook and wrote every day. Over time, my sentences grew longer, and I felt more confident. Writing became my secret weapon for learning. In this chapter, we'll share easy ways to start writing, even if you only know a few words. We'll try a fun challenge to get you excited, and I'll show you how writing makes your English stronger. Ready? Let's grab a pen and write to learn. Why is writing so important? When you write, you use the words you've learned from listening and reading, like we talked about in chapters 1 and 3. Writing helps you remember vocabulary and practice grammar, like putting a puzzle together. It also lets you express your thoughts, which makes you feel more confident in English. The best part? You don't need to write long essays to improve. Simple sentences about your day are enough to start. For example, writing, "I like to play soccer," helps you practice the verb like and the word soccer. Every sentence you write builds your skills, and it's like a workout for your brain. Let's start with something easy, writing short sentences. Begin by describing your day. For example, write, "I wake up at 7 o'clock," or "I eat breakfast with my family." When I started, I wrote about simple things, like what I ate or what I saw outside. My first journal entry was just, "Today is Monday. I go to school. I see a dog." It wasn't perfect, but it helped me practice. Over time, my entries got better. Here's a top moment. Let me show you how my writing grew. A few months later, I wrote, "Today is Monday, and I went to school early. I saw a small brown dog running in the park. It was so cute." See the difference? My sentences became longer and more detailed just by practicing every day. You can do this too. Keeping a daily journal is one of the best ways to practice writing. A journal is a place to write your thoughts, like a diary. You can write about anything, your favorite food, your family, or your dreams. I used to write in my journal every night, even just 3 sentences. For example, "I watched a movie. It was funny. I ate popcorn." This helped me get better at forming sentences and spelling words. You can use a notebook, a piece of paper, or even an app on your phone. The key is to write a little every day, even if it's short. Don't worry about making it perfect. Just write what you know. What if you're scared of making mistakes? That's okay. Mistakes are a normal part of learning. When I started writing, I spelled friend as friend and mixed up is and are. But I didn't stop. I'd read my sentences later and fixed them. For example, I changed "the dog are big" to "the dog is big." Every mistake taught me something new. If you can, ask a friend or teacher to check your writing. If not, try apps like Grammarly, which show you mistakes and suggest corrections. These apps are like having a teacher in your pocket. The important thing is to keep writing, even if it's not perfect. Progress is more important than perfection. Another fun way to practice is by writing short stories. You don't need to write a long book, just a few sentences about something you know. For example, write about a fun day you had. Yesterday, I went to the park. I saw birds and trees. I ate ice cream. This helps you use new words and be creative. I once wrote a story about a cat who loved to sleep, and it helped me learn words like lazy and nap. If you don't know what to write, start with something simple, like a trip to the store or a funny moment with your pet. Stories make writing exciting and help you practice sentence building. Here's a challenge to keep you hooked: the 5-sentence challenge. Pause the video and write 5 sentences about your favorite hobby. For example, if you like drawing, you could write, "I love to draw. I use pencils and paper. My favorite thing to draw is flowers. It makes me happy. I draw every weekend." Try it now, then share in the comments what your hobby is. This challenge is fun because it lets you write about something you love, and it helps you practice new words. It's a quick way to feel proud of your writing. You can also practice by writing letters or messages. Write a short note to a friend, even if you don't send it. For example, "Dear Sarah, I had a great day. I went to the market and bought apples." This helps you practice full sentences and makes writing feel real. If you don't have someone to write to yourself about your goals. I used to write notes like, "Tomorrow, I will learn 5 new words." It kept me motivated. You can also join online groups where people share their writing, like on Reddit or language apps. Sharing your writing helps you learn from others. To make writing easier, use the words you learned from reading in Chapter 3. For example, if you read about a beach and learn the word waves, write a sentence like, "The waves at the beach are big." This connects reading and writing, making both skills stronger. Another tip is to read your writing out loud. This helps you hear if something sounds wrong, like a missing word. It also improves your pronunciation, which helps with speaking. I used to read my journal entries aloud, and it made me notice mistakes like, "I go school," instead of, "I go to school." If you don't know what to write about, try describing what you see around you. Look out your window and write, "The sky is blue. There are 2 birds in the tree." This helps you practice describing things in English. You can also write about your favorite movie or food. Writing about things you love makes it fun and helps you remember words better. Set a small goal, like writing 5 sentences a day. Over time, you'll write longer and better sentences, just like I did. Writing helps you think in English, which is what we'll talk about in Chapter 5. When you write, you organize your thoughts in English, which makes speaking and thinking faster. So keep writing and get ready to shine in our next chapter. To wrap up, here's what to remember. Writing is a great way to master English. Start with a daily journal, write short stories, use apps to check grammar, and try the 5-sentence challenge. Don't be afraid of mistakes. They help you learn. I believe in you. Keep writing, and let's move to Chapter 5, where we'll explore thinking in English to boost your fluency. Let's make English easy together. Chapter 5. Think in English, the secret to fluency. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chapter 5 of our journey to make English easy and fun. Today, we're talking about a game changer, thinking in English. This is the secret to speaking fluently without struggling to find words. When I started learning English, I used to think in my native language and translate everything in my head. It was so slow. I remember trying to order food and pausing because I was translating, "I want water" from my language to English. It made me nervous and I forgot what to say. But then I discovered thinking in English, and it changed everything. Suddenly, words came out faster, and speaking felt natural. In this chapter, we'll share easy ways to train your brain to think in English, even as a beginner. We'll try a fun exercise to keep you excited, and I'll show you how thinking in English makes you a confident speaker. Ready? Let's dive in and think in English. Why is thinking in English so important? When you think in your native language, you have to translate every word before speaking. This takes time and makes conversations hard. Thinking in English means forming sentences directly in English, like, "I'm hungry," instead of translating it. This makes you faster and more fluent. In Chapter 4, we talked about writing, which helps you organize your thoughts in English. Thinking in English takes it further. It's like writing in your mind. It helps you use the words you learned from listening, speaking, and reading in real conversations. The best part? You can start thinking in English with simple steps, even if you only know a few words. Let's start with an easy tip. Label objects around you in English. Look around your home and name things in English like table, chair, or window. When I was learning, I put sticky notes on things in my room. I wrote door on my door, lamp on my lamp, and book on my books. Every time I saw the sticky note, I said the word out loud. It was like a game, and it helped me remember words without thinking in my native language. Try this today. Pick 5 objects in your room, like your phone, cup, or bed, and say their names in English. You can even write the words on paper and stick them on. This small step trains your brain to think in English naturally. Another great way to practice is by narrating your daily tasks in English. This means describing what you're doing in your head or out loud. For example, when you're making breakfast, think, "I'm pouring milk," or "I'm eating bread." When I started, I narrated everything I did in the morning. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm putting on my shoes. At first, it felt strange, but it made English feel like part of my life. It's like talking to yourself, but in English. You don't need to know big words, just use simple ones. Try it now. Look at what you're doing and say one sentence in your head, like, "I'm watching a video." This helps your brain get used to English thoughts. Here's a top moment to make this fun. Let's do a think aloud exercise. I'll describe my room in simple English, and you can follow along. Here we go. I'm in my room. There's a small table with a lamp. The lamp is yellow. I see a book on the table. The window is open and it's sunny outside. That was easy, right? Now it's your turn. Pause the video and describe one thing in your room in English. For example, say, "I see a chair. It's blue." If you want, Say it out loud or think it in your head. Then come back and share what you described in the comments. This exercise is exciting because it makes you think in English right now, and it feels like a big step toward fluency. To keep you hooked, here's a challenge: the one object challenge. Pause the video and pick one object you see, like a pen or a cup. Describe it in one English sentence, like, "The cup is red." Try it now, then come back and tell me how it felt in the comments. This challenge is quick and makes you feel proud because you're already thinking in English. It's a small step that builds your confidence and gets you ready to speak faster. Another tip is to ask and answer questions in English in your head. For example, ask yourself, "What do I want to eat?" and answer, "I want pizza." Or ask, "What's the weather like?" and answer, "It's rainy today." I used to do this while walking to school. I'd ask, "What's in my bag?" and answer, "I have a book and a pencil." This helped me form sentences quickly without translating. Start with simple questions you know the answers to, like, "What's my name?" or "What do I like?" Over time, you'll think in English without even trying. What if thinking in English feels hard? That's okay. When I started, I could only think one or two words like eat or sleep. But I kept practicing, and soon I could think full sentences like, "I'm going to the park." Start small, maybe just naming objects or actions. If you forget a word, use a simple one instead. For example, if you don't know refrigerator, think cold box. The goal is to keep thinking in English, even if it's not perfect. Be patient. Every thought in English is progress. You can also combine thinking with other skills. For example, when you read a book from chapter 3, try thinking about the story in English. After reading about a cat, think, "The cat is funny." Or when you write from chapter 4, think your sentences in English before writing them. This connects all your skills and makes them stronger. I used to read a page, then think, "What did I learn?" and answer in English like, "The story is about a dog." It made my reading, writing, and thinking better. Thinking in English prepares you for real-life practice, which we'll talk about in Chapter 6. When you think in English, you're ready to use it in conversations like ordering food or chatting with friends. It's like practicing in your mind before doing it for real. So, keep thinking in English and get ready to shine in our next chapter. To wrap up, here's what to remember. Thinking in English is the secret to fluency. Label objects, narrate your tasks, ask yourself questions, and try the one object challenge. Don't worry if it feels slow at first. Every step counts. I believe in you. Keep thinking in English, and let's move to Chapter 6, where we'll explore using English in real life. Let's make English easy together. Chapter 6. Practice in real life. Making English part of your day. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chapter 6, the final chapter of our journey to make English easy and fun. Today, we're talking about how to practice English in real life, making it part of your everyday routine. This is where all the skills we've learned come together. Listening from Chapter 1, speaking from Chapter 2, reading from Chapter 3, writing from Chapter 4, and thinking in English from Chapter 5. When I started learning English, I was nervous about using it outside my practice time. But then I tried saying simple things in real situations, and it changed everything. I'll share a story about a moment that boosted my confidence, and we'll try a fun challenge to get you using English today. By the end, you'll see how small steps can make English a natural part of your life. Ready? Let's make English real. Using English in real life is the best way to become fluent. It's like taking everything you've learned and putting it into action. When you use English in everyday situations like ordering food or chatting with a friend, you build confidence and see how far you've come. I remember my first real English conversation at a small cafe. I was so nervous, but I wanted to order a sandwich. I said, "Hello, can I have a cheese sandwich, please?" The waiter smiled and said, "Sure." That was it. Just a few words. But I felt like I'd won a prize. That moment made me realize I could use English in the real world. You can do this too, and it's easier than you think. One of the simplest ways to practice is by using English during routine tasks. For example, when you're shopping, say the names of items in English like apples or bread. When I went to the market, I'd think, "I need 2 tomatoes," or "This milk is cold." It felt like a game, and it helped me practice without pressure. You can also try saying short phrases out loud, like "thank you" to a cashier or "good morning" to a neighbor. These small moments add up and make English feel natural. Start today. Next time you're at a store, say one word in English like "hello." It's a tiny step that feels like a big win. Another great way to practice is by joining online language groups. There are websites and apps like Tandem, Hello Talk, or even Reddit, where you can chat with other English learners or native speakers. I joined an online group where we talked about our favorite movies. At first, I only said simple things like, "I like action movies." But soon, I was sharing longer sentences like, "My favorite movie is about superheroes." These groups are safe places to practice because everyone is learning and no one judges mistakes. Look for a group that talks about things you love, like sports, music, or cooking. Even 10 minutes a week of chatting can make a big difference. Using English media is a fun way to practice too. Watch English movies, cartoons, or YouTube videos, and try repeating a few lines. I loved watching a cartoon called Peppa Pig and saying lines like, "Let's jump in muddy puddles." It was silly, but helped me practice speaking naturally. You can also play games in English, like word puzzles or apps like Duolingo. These make learning feel like playtime. Try watching a short video clip today and saying one sentence from it like, "This is fun." Combining media with real-life practice makes English part of your day. Here's a heartwarming story to inspire you. A few months into learning English, I went to a bakery and decided to try ordering in English. I was nervous, but I said, "Can I have a chocolate cookie, please?" The baker smiled and replied, "Good choice." We chatted for a minute about cookies, and I used simple words like sweet and yummy. I left the bakery feeling so proud. That small conversation showed me I could use English in real life, and it gave me the courage to keep trying. You can have moments like this too. The next time you're out, try saying one English phrase, and you'll feel the same excitement. To keep you engaged, here's the real-life challenge. Today, try one English interaction in your daily life. It could be saying thank you at a store, hello to someone, or even I like this while shopping online. Pause the video now. Think of one phrase you can say today and try it. Then come back and share what you said in the comments. This challenge is exciting because it pushes you to use English right away, and it shows you how easy it can be. You'll feel like a superstar after just one try. What if you feel shy or make a mistake? That's okay. Mistakes are how we learn. Once I said, I want a coffee, but pronounced it wrong, and the waiter looked confused. I laughed, tried again, and he understood. No one was upset, and I learned how to say it better. If you're nervous, start with small phrases where you live, like good day or please. Most people will appreciate your effort and help you. The key is to keep trying, even if it feels hard at first. Every time you use English, you get better. You can also practice by combining all your skills. For example, use the listening skills from Chapter 1 to watch a video, then speak a sentence from it like we learned in Chapter 2. Read a short article from Chapter 3 and write a sentence about it from Chapter 4. Think in English from Chapter 5 while doing tasks, like I'm buying bread. This makes all your practice work together. I used to watch a cooking video, then think, I need a spoon, and write it down. It felt like a full English workout. Consistency is the key to fluency. Even 5 minutes of English a day, saying a phrase, watching a clip, or chatting online adds up. Set a small goal, like saying one English sentence every day. I did this, and within a few months, I was having short conversations without thinking too hard. Be patient with yourself. Some days, English will feel easy. Other days, it might feel tough. That's normal. Keep going, and you'll see progress. Think of learning English like growing a plant. It takes time, but every bit of effort helps it grow. To make practice fun, use English for things you enjoy. If you love food, try reading an English recipe and saying the steps, like mix the sugar. If you like games, play a word game in English with friends. I used to play a game where we named animals in English, like cat, dog, bird. It was fun and helped me learn fast. Find ways to make English part of your hobbies, and it won't feel like work. To wrap up, here's what to remember. Practicing English in real life makes it part of your day. Say simple phrases during tasks, join online groups, use English media, and try the real-life challenge. Don't be afraid of mistakes. They help you grow. Combine listening, speaking, reading, writing, and thinking to become fluent. I believe in you. Keep practicing, and you'll see English become easier every day. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Let's keep making English easy together. Wow, everyone, we've covered so much today. You're now ready with 6 powerful ways to make English easy and fun. Listening, speaking, reading, writing, thinking, and practicing in real life. Keep practicing every day, even just a little, and you'll be amazed at how much you improve. If you loved this video, please hit the like button. It helps our channel grow so we can share more tips with you. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss our weekly videos for learning English. In the comments below, share your favorite tip from today's video. Maybe it's the 3-word challenge or saying thank you in a store. I can't wait to hear how you're starting your English journey. Try one challenge from the video, like describing an object or writing 5 sentences, and tell us about it in the comments. Want more? Check out our other videos for beginner-friendly tips and fun challenges. Let's make English your superpower together. See you in the next video.